going on, everybody? Cam K here with you on ONTrack Weekly. Yes, we're going to bring on Dylan Wills from Peterborough Speedway in just a quick moment. Hopefully you can hear me. We had a really busy weekend across Ontario racing. I was out at Flamborough Speedway. Great show out at Flamborough Speedway. So we're going to have some of the content tonight focused a little bit around Flamborough because we did have some racers have some great nights out there. Emma Norris from the Ontario Pro Challenge Series is going to be coming on to chat about that series with us. And of course, her big win. She led from start to finish in the second Pro Challenge feature. A division that I think deserves a little bit more love. They put on fantastic racing. If they could get a couple more cars out there and a bit more social media presence, I think they do really, really good. I think this stuff is great. We also have Haley Hill going to be joining us at 9:10 tonight. Haley Hill, of course, great run for her. Second place finisher, best in the pure stock division out at Flamborough Speedway. She'll join us at 9:10. We have Brady Smith, winner of the pro late model race out at Delaware Speedway. He's going to be our last guest tonight. We're going to go to a 9:20 guest for him. Wade Thorne, who's been running, basically runs everywhere, but he's going to be joining us to talk about Sauble Speedway, talk maybe a little about Flamborough, but also Oshwegan Speedways, where he's out in the mini stock division weekly. But the guy that I want to talk to, Blaise Shaw, I haven't seen him much this year. Hasn't been able to be out there. He's been busy helping the APC team and helping the Pro Late Model team for Shaw Motorsports, but he got out there and got a big win in the mini stocks. We're going to have him and hear what trash talk he has for Jake Sutcliffe. He went out there and was able to knock down the best of the best in the mini stock division out at Sunset Speedway. But the guy who really, I think, shocked a lot of us this weekend, and that's not meant to be a slight. That is just part of the course, really. It is a really difficult thing to do, is to win a feature. And Dylan Wills did it at Peterborough Speedway this past weekend. He did it in pretty dominant fashion, actually, going out there from pole, leading it, avoiding all the shenanigans that took place, and he got himself a feature win. Now, Dylan, is this feature number one in your career, or is this just feature number one for the Superstock division for you?
No, this one's feature win number one.
I thought that was the answer. What was the difference, man? Because you come out this year and things are different. You've clearly found something. What is it? Is it your old man helping out? Is it you? What is it?
Well, I was gonna say a lot of last year there was a lot of mechanical issues with that car. We finally took probably 3/4 of the year before we finally found it. So then we were basically starting from the square one that I should have been starting with at the beginning of the year. But then we spent a lot of time over the winter going over the car, and now I had a little bit of seat time, and we took it down to TDR, and he went over it with all of his stuff too. And the last few weeks was really just kind of learning it, and we just kind of stepped on something there just before the feature, and it felt amazing.
You really, I don't want to say you didn't have much competition, but you kind of drove and left everybody behind you. Not easy to do in the Superstock class as a whole, but to do it at Peterborough, I mean, to start up on pole is one thing, but to drive away, I mean, how are your nerves? Because you said you hadn't won a feature before, and now all of a sudden you've done it, but you had that field behind you, which is full of guys who have experience in winning.
Mm-hmm.
You went out there and you left them behind you, but I can't expect that you were just like, oh, this is mine, I've got this. Like, I can't see that. You have to have been nervous.
Oh, I was definitely nervous. I just had my dad in the back of my head, go just run like a scared rabbit and don't look back.
And for him, I mean, we know about the racers in across Ontario. They tell us all their stories, but it's always the one that gets me the most was, my dad was on the radio. I mean, your dad was probably losing his mind just as bad as you were, right?
I was going to say that was like that for the last 3 laps. I don't think he let go of the button.
Brad Laval says you did amazing. Ask him how the engine is now, though.
Also, we found what the problem was because apparently I got little bit of a lead foot because I was a little excited there. Did a tad bit of a burnout. She made a really bad knocking noise. Pulled the valve cover off the next day and broke the rocker arm stud.
You know what? It's a small sacrifice to pay for your first feature win in doing it. And you had, I love the video. You had a crew of people in the stands cheering for you. And there's nothing like your first feature win. But you didn't, did you get into this racing deal really early in life or a little bit later in life? Because I feel like you were, what, mini stock and now you're in super stock. And that only took place over the last couple of years.
Well, I have been kind of on and off racing myself since about 2014, I think it was. And then just because I was still in high school, so it was, when I had the money or whatever, we would go race and whatnot. But dad was always still racing. So, I mean, he was racing since before I was born. His dad was racing before that. So it's just kind of one of them. I was going to do it. So, and now I have big boy money. So now I'm allowed to go racing more.
I was going to say, now you're in a position where you can afford to spend. In that car, how long have you had it?
I'm lifting the wall. I think dad got that car back in 08. It's originally a Randy Freeman car. And actually, if you look at one of my posts there, he posted on there that car debuted 32 years ago.
Oh my God. I love it. History. It doesn't die, man. That thing's almost as old as I am. So
yeah,
that's fantastic. It came in your possession. Superstock class is obviously extremely hard to do well in. You've got this first one. How do you feel for the rest of the year, man? I mean, you looked good to start the races that I was at Peterborough so far this year. You looked very competitive. I mean, Donovan ran into you at least once. I think it was on a restart. And then I don't know. You kind of fell, you fell kind of towards the back, but then you worked your way back up. But it feels like the Superstock class there obviously is extremely tough. So the rest of this year, you think you got a couple more wins in you?
Well, I would say hopefully, but I mean, like I raced with a bunch of stout guys. I mean, like you look through the times, and we're like 0.2 per second from first to last. So I mean, like if you can maybe give them a little bumper, but nothing too crazy. Give them a little racing, but definitely nothing. I think we can do another one. I hope so.
You held off. I was saying this. You held off the last year's champion. Like
yeah,
Kyle Gordon has been lights out at Peterborough. Even before that, like when he was in the Renegade trucks, he's been the guy. Him and Mark have been the class really at that track the last couple of years. Paul Boundy held off as well. So you've got like the guys of this division behind you. Corey Strawn says you and your team did amazing. You continually improved. So glad I was there to be able to be there for that moment. I'm glad you were there too, because that way we got to see it.
Yeah.
After the race, though, it's calmed down. Is there a little bit of relief?
Yes. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulder. Because, I mean, it's always that one. The first one is the one you always want to get. And, I mean, you always think, well, maybe it's just a heat win or whatever. But, I mean, I've never even gotten one of those. So to top it off with a feature win, I mean.
You did it in style, eh? I love that. I love it. It's just you come from not winning a heat, and you know what it was? Is it was unexpected, and I like that. I love when we get to see something like that happen. I'm pissed I wasn't there because I was there like a couple weeks before that and I didn't see that. I was like, can't be everywhere at once, unfortunately. But for yourself, obviously, you said you'd like to go out there and you get a couple more wins. But you also have some really loyal people that have stuck with you. You've got partners on this race car. I want to give the opportunity to you to shout those people out. Like, you've done an amazing job with when we came by. I was there for both the fan appreciations. You guys always have a ton of stuff to give to the kids. I think you guys had was it coloring sheets this year?
Yeah, we had the coloring pages there the first year or the first night.
The first one.
And then I didn't get them all printed off for the next one, so I just went to the dollar store and we grabbed every little bit of candy that we could.
And that's, you know what? I love to see the initiative. I love seeing people putting something out there. Coloring sheets are unique. You don't get to see them every time that racers do fan appreciation. So I really, you threw the stickers and scuffs on there as well. So I'm all for that. But definitely shout out those people in your life and the partners that help make it possible for you to go out and get this victory.
Yeah, definitely got to thank my dad because I mean, like, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing this anyways. And plus all the stuff that he gives me for this car. So, and definitely got to thank my wife and my kid because I mean, they're out there with me every night when we go out to the shop, and even if they're just hanging out while I'm working. But and then all the guys that come out with me every weekend. I mean, like, they're taking time out of their day to come out and come and help me for a night, especially in this heat. And
Yeah.
then we've got our longtime sponsor, Quick Signs. They've been with us for all before I was born on my dad's car, my papa's car. So then we had Dwyer Roofing, Shrimp Cocktail, Napa Pine Ridge, obviously Stickers and Scuffs, TDR. So it's been fun.
I did notice the shrimp cocktail on the side of the car. I think that's cool. Anytime you got a really cool logo like that, it works, man. And I'm glad to see that you did survive the heat. It was pretty nasty this weekend. I'm so glad that you're doing okay. And the best of luck, Dylan, for the rest of the season. I'm really pumped for you. It's always exciting to see somebody step into victory lane for the first time, and we know that now that you've done it, you know where to go when you win the race.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know when to how to stay up front, lead those laps, and hopefully you get to do it again the next time you're out there. So thank you so much for joining me, Dylan, and have a good rest of the season.
Thanks.
That is our good buddy Dylan Wills, who uh, goes to victory lane for the first time in Peterborough Speedway's Super Stock division. Of course, you can catch him out every weekend at the racetrack. One of the nice guys of racing is Dylan Wills. Just like him, Selena, very friendly. I hope I said her name right. I think it's Selena. Yeah, Selena. Um, Very friendly group of racers and family. And speaking of very friendly and people we wanted to get on and chat with us, so we're gonna bring on Wade and Emma. Both were out at Flamborough Speedway this past weekend. Wade was not behind the wheel. He was helping out with the dirt car, but that was on asphalt. They were testing some stuff, but he was working on Emma's Pro Challenge car. So we're gonna bring on both. I believe they're both coming on right now together, but it's Wade Thorne and Emma Norris who are joining us uh, on the show and ONTrack Weekly. Of course, I'm going to throw out just a thanks to Austin Arnell, who we've got representing on the show tonight, and it is Emma Norris and Wade Thorne joining us on ONTrack Weekly. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. How are you?
Great, great. It was an awesome night out at Flamborough Speedway, and Emma decided to put on a show that I wouldn't forget. I love the Pro Challenge. Was hoping to see Wade out in the pure stocks, but you know what? You were out there in some capacity, right, Wade? You had the 15 car out there.
Yeah, I was spotting for Emma and Carson, which they both won, so that was good. It's just much fun as racing sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've got a good track record for the weekend, 2 victories, and it isn't an easy thing to go out there and win any week of the year. But Emma, that is, I believe, a win number 2 or 3 this year. I think it might be 2.
Win number 2 this year.
Number
Yeah.
2. One was at Varney,
Yeah, Varney 2 weeks ago, and then Flamborough
and
Saturday.
that's very different from the start of your season compared to how things are going now. You mentioned it in your post-race interview. Big change that took place in your car. What was that big change that helped you out this weekend?
Yeah, I at the beginning of the year I was having some motor problems, and we ended up having to pull my engine. Some of my valves were acting up a little bit, so we had to change that. And that is the motor that I blew up my first season of ever racing. We finally got it back. We rebuilt it and did everything, and it has a lot of power to it.
Yes, I'm just moving apparently my mouse was on Wade's forehead, so I want to make sure I
Oh.
move that. Thank you, Phil Givens. But Wade, you were also out there. You had the 15 dirt car, which was a little interesting to see that on pavement. That was a nice surprise. What were you guys doing out there with the Thorne Racing 15?
Oh, that car has just been giving me the weirdest gremlins for the last year. We had Spencer and Jillian kind of driving it the last couple of years, just shaking it down. Brady driving it, and we just haven't been able to figure it out. We just don't get enough laps on the Friday night to really test the car. Flambeau's kind of been hurting on the mini stock setup, and Glenn was like, "Why don't you just bring it out?" So we slapped some old Azenas we had kicking around on it, and let my dad drive it around, and we ended up finding that our it's our motor. The piston rings are burnt up, so they're we started the heart transplant tonight. So should have it ready for Friday. If not, it'll be ready for when Chris Lawrence comes to drive it next Friday.
Well, I was gonna say, when are we gonna see Emma Norris driving it on the dirt?
She ran it last year. I've been bugging her to get back in it because she had so much fun. But
Really, eh? Yeah.
yeah, we don't get a lot of non-points nights at Oshwegan, so we don't want to race against each other. We've kind of made that like we'll just do our own thing on race night, and she'll race her stuff, I'll race my stuff, and keeps a little more civil.
Sure, civil for sure. I mean, I for one though, I think, and I told Emma this. We were talking at the end of the night. One of the things that I would like to see is Oshwegan type of counts for the Pro Challenge. I know it's a little far fetched to think that, but talk about that division, Emma, because you obviously your family basically is. I guess you basically own it. It's a great touring division. I love it. I think they have amazing sound to them. They're fast little cars. I, for one, think Wade needs to be in one. So he's won in basically everything else he's been in. So, but what is it that Pro Challenge is all about?
Pro Challenge is a family racing deal. Like, it's all about friends and family. It is a competitive series, but it's Pro Challenge. I don't really know how to explain it. It's all about like friendship, really. I mean,
Hmm.
we would love to get better car counts. I mean, I remember watching back in the day when I was just a little kid, watching more than 20 cars out there every week, and those cars are still kicking around. It's just people need to bring them back out. It's one of those hard things because they look so simple, but they are very, very expensive cars.
I was gonna ask how easy they are to drive.
They're fairly easy. So I've only ever really driven them. It's the first car I've ever driven. I've only
Hmm.
driven his dirt car. It's the only thing I can compare it to, but they handle really, really well. They're very, very stable, very, very fast cars, and they're very simple to drive. It doesn't step out on you a lot. You don't have to
Hmm.
swing your back end around. You just kind of set it in, and all of our cars are set up to just drive for you, basically.
So then you have your type of racing with is very easy to drive. Then you have Wade's, which is Oshwegan Speedway, where you're literally not straight ever. Uh, this year again, back with the full mini stock tour out at Oshwegan Speedway. Wade closer to the podium the last couple of weeks. Tough start to the year. You mentioned those mechanical gremlins, but it seems to be on both cars, not just on the 15. How have things gone with the 46 of recent memory? It looks better.
Yeah, it's been I mean that was our rental car last year. I think I drove it once, had a good run in it. Just really didn't get a chance to dial it in on the setup. So this year we kind of I've been driving it more, getting the setup a little bit better. We've been getting quicker and quicker with it. My primary car is the 4 car, of course, and went and spent all my racing money on a new motor on it and blew it up during the Art Hill. So I've just kind of been wait until we get some payout funding back, so we can get a motor put together. And I mean those engines when I started they used to be $200, or you buy a car for $300, and they're just even getting them out of the scrapyard, they're starting to get expensive. So it's
Yeah.
it's getting to that point. But we got unfortunate enough I got 3 dirt cars of other ones, so we always have something. We got Rodney's car there as well. He's just been so busy with the kids and the micro sprints, and focusing on Haley's car and a CBM too. So, I mean, we've been trying to have 3 cars out on every Friday night, but two's kind of just been our standard this year.
Well, and I think it goes without it goes without question that you can succeed coming from pavement to dirt. I mean, there's no better story than Jillian Hills, and we've seen Bill Pearsall do it now too. They're just kicking ass this year, the last 2 years really. And Emma, you said you mentioned it was mentioned that you enjoyed it. So, what was the experience coming from something where it is easy to drive and then you're going on dirt and completely different experience?
It was terrifying at first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when you go out there, like when you go to Flamborough any track, you get about like 10 laps of practice and you get 2 rounds. And when you go out on dirt, you get what, 3 laps?
Two
It's
laps.
like 2 laps. You go on the
Oh,
track and then you basically get off the
Yeah.
track. So I went out there. I didn't even know how to like start the car. I have a bunch of buttons and switches and it's a key and it was completely different. And I'm driving around and I just had no idea. I don't usually like I always have a windshield, so seeing through mesh is completely different. And then just getting out on the track and just when the car is supposed to step out, and I don't like a car that steps out. So when I'm just felt like I was just drifting around the corner, and then all of a sudden I pick up the nose, and then it's like I'm going to the grandstands, but then I'm not. So I don't know. It was really really weird, but it was a lot of fun. I would 100% do it again, just not against him.
It
oh,
was
okay.
tough too when she drove because it was one of the track nights where it was really dry, slick. There wasn't really a lot of grip in the track, and
Oh, okay.
the way that set up in that car, I was like, "Hey, like you're gonna have to run the top tonight, and you're gonna have to not lift." And she, she went out. She first couple laps were pretty hesitant, but you could see, start hammering the rev limiter a little harder and harder, getting faster and faster and comfortable on the top. But it's intimidating turning left into a corner and not stepping out of the throttle.
Yeah.
It's definitely a weird mental thing that just have to take over. I mean, we've had lots of guys drive our cars where we're like, hey, like you don't have to lift, like get it up on the top and stay in it, and they even, they'll take a whole race, be like, oh, I was just starting to figure it out before the race is all of a sudden over, right?
Well, and so like wait, you've had I think that you've had Brady, Chris, Phil, I think Alex has been in there. Obviously you have Rodney going in there. What would you say to somebody that runs pavement about giving a try to Oshweekon Speedway in the starting at least in the mini stock division?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely will make you a better driver on asphalt. I mean, you see everyone that's driven our cars. I mean, they've get quicker and quicker on asphalt, and then they go back. You feel you have so much more car control. Your car steps out on asphalt, especially in our pure stocks. Like we're running on crappy radial tires. Like we don't have grip as it is.
Yeah.
You get so used to just being at that right on that fine line out of control, being quick. That after a couple sessions of dirt, you're like, oh, it's not. You can still be fast with being a little free,
Hmm.
and you know, we've seen so many times that like Jillian jumped to my pure stock car and she's like, I don't know how you drive this car. It's so loose. And it's like it's the only way we can make her go quick. And but she's so good on the dirt and yeah, it's just so different just being able to gain all that car control on the dirt and then go back to asphalt. You just feel so much more confident being like, even if you get a little bit of sideways, you get poked, you can go quicker from it.
I I'm getting into the like it's still new for me. I'm not a dirt guy at heart, but the mini stocks are what's bringing me to it. Thunder stocks. Shout out to Peter Anderson as well for what he went through. Holy jumping. Glad he's okay. 'Cause I spoke to him actually in the infield, and no worse for wear. I probably wouldn't have set foot in a racetrack for like 5 years after that. But no, he had no fear in that gentleman. But Emma, you obviously battling for the championship once again, and I hate to say it, but you're gonna have to defeat some of your family. To do so, it's kind of been the norm. I think we've seen it. Your brother Mike and your dad Tim are always competitive out there. But now you're starting to pick up the pace, you're starting to catch up to both of them. But there's other names in that division. I'd like to know some of those names that you think we can see. We're going to see more of in the coming weeks, because the field actually, from a couple of years ago, I feel like we were seeing a lot of lap cars. Both of those features this week, I think there was one lap car the entire race. Actually, in just the first race, I think there was only one lap car the entire time. So who are some of those names that you race alongside and could be up near the front real soon?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to see Ethan Fleet coming back to victory lane again. I mean, he has stepped up his game so much. Same with Michael Connell. I have a feeling he's probably going to get something going on pretty soon. He's been working really hard. Tenley Pepin, she's been getting so much better and working really, really hard. I'm so proud of her. Also have to give a shout out to the rookie Colton Clark. I mean, yeah, he's still getting lapped, but that was his first time ever at Flamborough Speedway. That was his first time ever spinning out. He like when he raced at Sauble for his first race, he bought the car that week. Like he's
Wow.
brand new and he's doing so well. He's just a kid, So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's never even driven like on the street. So he's doing phenomenal. I think we'll, by the end of the year, I think be a lot better. Yeah, but definitely Ethan and Mike, I think that they'll be coming through. I think those will be the ones to watch for sure.
There's a big question that most racers are asked about what they would do to win a race. What would you do if it comes down to you, Mike, or your dad to win the championship? And I want your real answer, not some foo-foo crap answer that's just like politically correct. What is the actual answer?
I don't have any experience moving people, so I won't
Okay.
do it because I know that if I wreck their cars, they're gonna make me do it. Over the years, I've gotten really, really good at fiberglass work, so I know that they'll make me fix it. I'm pretty sure there's still a bounty out there for me to spin my dad for $1,000, and I just don't have the heart to do it. I let it come down to talent, and I'm just not there yet. So if it comes down to it, may the best person win.
Uh, love it. I think I'm just expanding our conversation for a second, just because uh, Blaise Shaw having some issues with the link. Damn,
No.
Blaise. But Wade, you've done a little bit of different step for this season. You're heading up to Sauble, and obviously, as somebody who works exclusively, we've got the partnership with Sauble Speedway and Brad Holmes and the team up there. How are things looking, man? Obviously, it's for you to move up there to run means something's working. The class, Epic Racewear Bone Stocks, is upwards of 15 cars, almost weekly now. What was the idea behind all of that?
Yeah, we were just heading up there with our two cars when we were following up the Pro Challenge series. And I mean, Sauble's it's 3.5 hours away from me, but it's always just felt like a home track. I won my first championship there. Pat Farrow and I had so many great battles back in 2022 in the combined fours. I mean, him and I probably ran 400 laps in one season, side by side for wins. So, I mean, like it was just, it felt it was a tough decision when we started talking about it, but Sauble, I think they only have like 9 or 10 points nights. They have a drop night. Obviously, us missing opening night, we were going to have to use that as our drop night. So we felt like we were at a bit of a disadvantage. But, I called Chris and said, what do you think? Do you think you want to do this? And, it was one text back of Penny's mad, but we're in. And I think I got the same attitude down here. But, they get over it pretty fast when they follow us up there and they see how much fun we're having. And I mean, Chris finally picked up his first bone stock win in a while on Saturday. Super happy for him. And it just the quality of racing up there it was a big difference for us. I mean, I love Flamborough. Will always be my home track on a Saturday night. It was just tough. The first 5 nights of racing, I think we were in 5 wrecks. We had 5 DNFs in 5 nights. It was just didn't see it last year. We were in a couple big ones, but 20 nights of racing, you're bound to be in a couple wrecks, and it was just we kind of had to take a step back going like, is this really what we wanted? And we went up to Sauble, had a clean night of race, and everybody up there is really respectful. And I mean, we talked to Brad and he's like, dude, come up here. We would love to have you back. So, yeah, it was an easy decision. I mean, at the end of it, we're halfway in it now. I feel like they haven't put us on the points list yet, but I know we're clawing our way up. We probably won't be anywhere near the top till they get to the end of the season with the drop night, but we got 2 wins up there now. And it's just been awesome.
Well, what's been awesome is having both of you guys. That was a nice segue, right? On the show tonight. It's always a pleasure to get to talk with racers that we not just are represented by on the racetrack, but are representing their brands with the utmost respect. And that's the big thing is I don't think I've heard anybody ever say a bad thing about either one of you guys. So that's always a good thing. And you know what? This is exciting. I mean, we had Wade. I didn't get to officially do it on SNS because we just never got the opportunity to connect. But obviously, was a Scuffy Award winner for Flamborough Speedway. So, and that was not nominated by us. It was nominated by somebody else. So that says a lot. And And Emma already doing great stuff as an SNS racer. She's got you beat so far this year, Wade, so you're going to have to catch up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one hurt, I think.
Yeah.
To him though, he helps me out a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I've only
Very much.
I think I have just as many as her this year, but she's done it in a lot less races.
Very, very true. But you know what? The best of luck for the rest of the season for you guys. We'll definitely have you on later on this year to chat a bit more with us. And we'll likely have you on SNS Live as well. But have a great night, guys. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
That is Emma Norris and Wade Thorne. I love when we have this like adjustment thing where I move this window around and it maximizes when I don't want it to, because we have guys that unfortunately couldn't join right away because the technology wasn't letting him, and it's kicked him sideways as well to start the night.
I can go the right way if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we could have you sideways. I mean, it's no big deal here. I don't think I've ever seen this view before with all the NASCAR 164s behind you, Blaise Shaw, but I'm digging it.
Yeah, I'm out working at Dale's today, working on his stuff. So this is actually his basement. It's Jake's collection that he left here when he sold the place to Dale. So I figured you get a kick out of it, so I figured I'd set up down here for you. It's
pretty great, actually. I can't say my collection's out in public at the moment, but I'm always a fan to see collections of racing memorabilia. Speaking of collections,
I can do a quick one for you. It's
oh, well, there we go.
It's a good collection.
It's pretty full, yeah. Speaking of full, I bet your trophy case is looking pretty full now. Taking that big win away from Jake Sutcliffe, who gave me a great message when I started this, that there was a friggin' cheater coming on the show tonight. So let's hear about what you say to that.
I mean, I know he was...
He's also busting your balls because he says you're late.
I was on time.
Well, yeah, you were.
Yeah, I mean, somebody had to knock Jake down a peg after the last couple of weeks, and I'm just glad it could be me.
There's nobody better, right?
Sorry?
There's nobody better to now come down a peg, right?
No, there's nothing better than just watching him in my rearview mirror for 25 laps. It's nothing beats it.
Well, you haven't been out a ton this year. I feel like you've been really busy with the APC and the Pro Late deal. I want to say it was probably this is the earliest you've gotten a win in the year, is it not?
Yes, yeah, I believe so. I mean, my first win that was the third segment of the Lankin was obviously that was before they moved it up. That was in like September, I think. And then last year I didn't get my first win till the Hanley, so definitely the earliest I've gotten it. And yeah, it's just the way the schedule's worked out. That was my fourth race night of the year, and only the second one at Sunset. So schedules just haven't lined up great at the start of the year, but for the rest of the year, it's pretty consistently. I race one weekend and then off spotting / crew chief and for Dale, and yeah.
It's been a bit of a different change for you guys with Dale, because obviously you guys have done a couple of races, but then for the most part done quite a bit of the APC schedule as well. Was that expected this year? Were you guys planning on doing more races in APC?
Honestly, it was. We knew we were going to do full time at Sunset. Like Dale knew he was going to do that. I think he loves that place more than anybody else. So he always wants to get out and support the local show there. And he kind of just said, you know, he's always going to normally show up for the APC race at Sunset. And, you know, when it goes well, it just goes, well, you know what? Let's take a chance. Normally, like second race at Flamborough, it's a tough race. Normally that takes the wind out of your sails. You maybe go up there, but had a good run there. And then, all right, I guess we're going to Peterborough. Had a really good run there. And, had an awesome run going to Delaware.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, lost power with 5 to go. And then just got caught up after having to start at the tail after that. So that sucked, but it was still such a good weekend. And still just pumped up our tires even more because he was going to run third in that race. And honestly, the 19 and the 22 racing at the end of it, he was still behind him. He might have squeaked by for a win.
It's nice to see. Obviously, Dale puts in a ton of work on the program for multiple cars. And it would have been awesome to see him grab because it's been a while. It's been a long while for him, obviously, as the inaugural APC champion. Ashley McMartin actually does have a question for you, though. She does want to know the inspiration for the color of your car this year.
Honestly, it was kind of at the end of last year. I bent almost all the fenders and the nose on it, so we had to replace a lot. And I kind of said to Dad, I was like, you know what, if you're fine with it, I'd like to change the color scheme. And honestly, I was going to change it completely, but we still had some yellow paint left over and some yellow vinyl, and that stuff's just so expensive that we just kind of said, all right, you know what, I'm going to get rid of the blue, just do yellow and black. And but I think we're going to have to do something different next year because we ran out of yellow paint, and to vinyl everything is really expensive. And I mean, I do it all myself, so it's also a lot of time.
I think we talked about it as well. I mean, the big change, obviously, from the previous car, that scheme, you had Samantha run it for many years. You've run it. It had the kind of the blue stallion on the side of it. This year, kind of the black outline stallion. I still think that if you're going to go to like say an all black car next year or something like that, you have a white stallion on the side. It's going to pop. It's going to look really, really nice. Ashley wants to know what color yellow it is.
So actually, Jake can tell you, I gave him a good laugh the one day when I was either the day after we painted or the day I finished putting the yellow vinyl on. I sent him a picture of it and I said, all right, there we go. It's perfectly hungover piss yellow.
Yep. I feel like I got that message on Messenger as well, that's the color it was.
You might. It's also a couple different shades of yellow because we paint some and vinyl the other. And every time we got paint over the years, we always like gave them a piece of vinyl and they did what they could, but it's always a bit different. So, but it still looks good from the grandstands at least.
And you know what I like? I like a fresh number font. I like it. I think it looks pretty slick, kind of the Macanelli vibe off of it. Whereas I think you had the 81 JGR almost vibe to it before. Well, they all basically is the old Shaw number, but you haven't been out, like I said, 4 races this year. Most of those you didn't really get a full sense of the field because not a lot of guys were really out yet. You got a better sense this weekend, much bigger mini stock field. The regulars that we would typically expect to see were out. Names like Chris Cunnington. You saw Jason Dantimos come back. I don't know if he was there this past weekend, but John Bird was out there. Chris Aller was out there. Wakeling was out there. So you got the guys that we expect to see. It's been a bit of a change since last year because you haven't run as much, but the names that we see running towards the front, how are you finding the field this year? Because we spoke with Jake last week about Ryder, and we talked. I said I don't know what got into that kid over the off season, but holy hell is he ever fast. So what did you feel about the field that you had to compete against this past weekend?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like the field is, I mean, it's been strong the past couple of years, but to me, it's only getting even tougher because yeah, like 100% Ryder White. Like last year, he was picking it up at the end of the year, and I think he's just fully comfortable in the car now, and like that's a huge part about being fast, and I'm sure they were working on the setup and maybe asked for some help from some of the Honda guys to really get that thing going good. Wyatt, same there. He's just getting more comfortable in the car and he just keeps going faster every week, which is awesome to see. Burnett, he's actually really impressed me with that car. he's got it running good. Like a lot, he went faster more quickly than I thought he was gonna. Like it's been a surprise, good to see. And it was cool to see Cunnington out because that's obviously the Gilmore car, or what was the Gilmore car, and that was actually, it's technically another mini stock that has come out of this shop out here. Not, I don't think it was completely built, but Jake and Dale did do some work on it.
Oh, I was like, I didn't know that. It's a great piece of, and it ran well. I think he finished 6th in his first start.
It did, yeah. For his first night out, like in the way of lap times, I think he was only 0.3 off, like me, Jake, Ryder. And for your first time in a brand new car, that's really good, honestly. Like you can't ask for too much more than that.
I think after, we talk about like Dan Archibald getting back out there after the devastation he had. He wasn't the only one that had devastation in the offseason. Chris was another one that snow, I think, just demolished his garage and took the car with it, unfortunately, his old pieces, and it's still pretty beat up. But you know what? Racers are a different breed. They get out there and they race, and you got out there this weekend, got yourself another victory for the Shaw Motorsports team, and came on the show, man. I appreciate any time I get to chat with you, man. We could literally talk for hours and hours and hours, but I know Haley Hill really would like to come on and chat about her second place finish in the Pure Stocks out at Flamborough Speedway. Will we see you back out at Flamborough at any point this year, or are you going to try and stick more to Sunset for the rest of the year?
The way the schedule works out for the rest of the year, the regular nights, it's looking like just Sunset, but anytime the rain out up at Sunset, because near the lake, they do get a lot of random rain that Flamborough doesn't necessarily get. If it's a day like that, we'll always just change direction to go to Flamborough instead of Sunset. But at the end of the year, I'll definitely be out for Frostfest, so I'll be there at least one more time.
And of course, if he wins the Domino's Pizza this week for the performer of the week at Sunset Speedway, do you share with Jacob Sutcliffe, or did you not get any when he won it?
I didn't get any when he won it, but he didn't get any when I won it either. I actually, I gave the tickets back to Spencer, and I told him to just do a giveaway for the crowd, Velocity. So we're even, I guess, still.
Oh man, Jacob's gonna not like that answer that you just gave. Gave him back. We kid Jake because we love, but we'll catch you up with you at the racetrack soon. Blaise, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
All right, that is our good friend Blaise Shaw. Of course, he's got to celebrate a little bit with some pop is what he's drinking. Yep, root beer, right? Blaise Shaw. Chris Burnett does say thank you, and he appreciates it. So good on you, buddy. And Jacob says I love pizza. We'll end it on that.
Guys.
Thank you. Oh man, great show so far tonight, and it gets better because we get to bring on first time we've had this guest on the show, and for good reason. She's on the show tonight because she comes on after scoring her best finish in the Pure Stock division. It feels like it's been a long time coming though, because it's been since you came into the division, Haley. It's gone very well for you. Haley Hill from Flamborough Speedway's Pure High Nala from the Pure Stock division, second place finish. And I'm going to mention what I said to you in our conversation. And I'll say it. I mentioned to John Morrison as well. I legitimately thought it was your brother driving your car in the first feature before you basically got out. And I was like, holy shit, that was Haley. How does it feel?
I get that often. If I have a good run, somebody will be like, was that Cameron? Was that Rodney? I'm like, no, it was just me.
Well, now you're doing it more and more often. It is going to be more of the commonality. Spencer Riddell still says sorry, Haley. Yeah, you stinker. Haley, you've had glimpses of this since you joined the Pure Stock division. And then you had the car was involved in a pretty bad one. I remember seeing the bruise that you had. It's been one of those years where it's been up and then down and up and down and up and down, but you've got to feel like everything is worth it after finishing runner-up to Spencer Dill, hoping that maybe he was just DQ'd or something, right?
I knew he would never be DQ'd, but I was okay with coming second to him. Honestly, I seen him coming in the mirror and I was like, game over. This is it. But I was okay with it. I was like, as long as I can just finish up here, I'm good. But I have really big shoes to fill. Like, I'm literally following Cameron, I'm following Rodney. Like, it is not easy just jumping in the way that I did versus the way that they have. Like, it's pressure. It's constant pressure. So I was definitely happy with it, but this season was not off to a great start. My car was for sale 2 weeks ago. I was over it.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Wasn't actually. I definitely made a couple comments and everybody in my household was like, knock it off. But I was done. I was just so mentally drained between building a new car and then learning a new car and this and that. So it was for sale. So now it's not for sale anymore.
Well, and you know what? You've been such a big supporter of racing for such a long period of time. I mean, I actually, before I even knew your relation to Cam, I knew you because of Jomo Media. Because John Morrison, you've been supporting him. And I always want to throw it out there that John's one of the, if not one of the best and biggest supporters of racing. He does such a great job. And I got to learn all about the Driving with Haley name because of him. I legitimately first thought it was driving like instructor. Turns out that's not what it is.
I don't know if anybody wants to take those kinds of lessons from me.
I don't know, actually. You showed this weekend that you were able to get out there and get away. And I feel like as a pure stock racer, that might be the hardest thing to do at Flamborough Speedways, to get away from everybody. What was the difference this weekend?
You're not wrong. It's definitely hard. We had a lot of cautions come out and every caution flag would fly. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, I'm holding on for dear life here. And it was, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I got more comfortable in that car and I kind of just gave myself a pep talk. I was just like, okay, knock it off. You just need to just do it. And I constantly looking for tricks and tips and I try to listen the best that I can. And you constantly have feedback from really good people. And the more you kind of piece it together and make it your own, it helps.
I definitely think that you found your way already. And this year, the ladies have really done a great job out at Flamborough Speedway. I think Tegan, Megan, Rachel, yourself, you've all led laps this year. Rachel with a feature win. You are one away from a feature win. Tegan and Megan have both gotten their best finishes in years. So the ladies kind of have been doing a great job out there. Tons of support, which is awesome to see. But you got into this deal a lot later than most people do. You only have how many years behind the wheel?
I literally got thrown in on my birthday, which is in May last year, and I was just going to try it out. And Rodney and I were supposed to share the car, and well, it turns out I'm not very good at sharing. So,
so why are you
doing this a long time? So I think it's just my turn now.
Well, why are you still doing it? How fun is it?
It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a very mental sport, and if you struggle in the mental department, it can take a toll on you.
Yep.
Not going to lie, but I for the longest time I wanted to do it, but my kids were young and it was impossible. And now I have a really good support system with my mom and my sister. They always watch my youngest. My boys are older and they're just at the track with us anyways, but my daughter's not even 3 yet, so they help me and they're just like, go and do your thing. So it kind of opened the door for me not to say no, because I always had the excuse of, well, the kids need me or this or that, or I don't have a babysitter, right? So they were really the biggest push. Obviously, Rodney not giving me much of a choice was a big push too. And Cameron called me a bunch of names and was like, don't do this, don't do that, just do it. If I can do it, you can. And I'm like, okay, my God. So
yeah, we don't mention Cam on this show after he ditched me. So
I know
he's dead to me right now. And probably will be for a while. But the one thing you just mentioned, actually, Chantel Kalika, our friend from out west, NASCAR Canada Series racer, she just got her first ever victory in a Pro Late model this weekend. and she's a racing mom, and that's something that we don't see a ton of is racing moms. What was the feeling seeing your kids after getting your best finish ever? I'm not
My
trying to
middle
make you cry, but
Oh my my middle son, he's very busy at the racetrack. He just goes to hang out with his friends. He really doesn't pay attention too much, but I was actually told that he was up at the fence and he was like, "Go Haley." I'm like, "Haley, I am your mom." And my oldest is like right in my window the second that he can get there. So it was very, very touching. It's nice that it's such a family thing. Like this is a huge family thing for us.
Yeah.
Like my son's race, the unspoken one races. Like everybody just races. Like it's just such a family thing for us. Like we don't know any different.
And that's exactly what we love about this sport, is that it brings families together, and you have the opportunity. You've got oh, there goes the cat again. You've got not just sons that watch you race, but they're going to getting into it as well. Down at the, I believe it's the little O that they're running at. As a mom on the other side of it, you race, but now you have to watch them race. What do we prefer?
Honestly, so last year, like I was a little bit nervous, but I found that the more I actually was in a car, the more comfortable I was watching them too. If that makes
Good.
any sense. It sounds wild. Like my mom doesn't get it. She thinks we're all nuts, but I'm just like, I'm okay. I'm okay watching my kids. I'm like, they watch, they pay attention. You can tell with the way that they do things on the track themselves that they do take little pointers in their own little heads. So to stand there, you're just so like you just burst with happiness and you're so proud of them. And you're just it's a very comforting feeling knowing that they want to do it too, and that you're not taking them away from, soccer or whatever. Like they really want to get in and get behind the wheel too.
Well, I'm putting it out there. Will we see eventually the Thompsons and so like Haley Hill versus her son in the Pure
Maybe.
Stocks?
We've been discussing putting my oldest into a pure stock. He's very much so like other people in the family and just wants to drive. Like he's the same. He just wants to be behind the wheel. He doesn't care what it is. So he's obviously in a micro sprint right now, and he thinks that he has big plans to get into a crate sprint. But we have discussed putting him into a pure stock as well because he has expressed that he's ready. He wants to, and I'm like, I sit there and I'm just like, oh my god, it's crazy because I know what we do out there. And I'm like, I'm the mom, and I'm like, this is okay for me, but for you, it might not be okay. But it's gonna happen, and I have from now basically till next season to just tell myself it's happening and to get over it because that kid's not gonna be stopped.
That's what I love to hear. We've got we're looking forward to seeing your son versus Cam and see who comes out on top of it in that one. But
I think he might give Cam a run for his money. We've had that discussion around the dinner table a time or two here.
well, Haley, congratulations on an
Thank you.
amazing finish, and we know that you've got one more in you to be even better than that. So I can't wait to see the success that comes your way. Yes, Laura Authier also got her first heat win this year. That's right. She's also a racing mom. So, Haley, congratulations. We're definitely going to have you back on ONTrack Weekly, and hopefully we'll get to be out there at Flamborough once again and see you get that victory this time.
It was good luck.
yeah, hopefully. We'll see. I don't want to jinx it, though, because the second feature we don't need to talk about. So
it happens. That's racing, right? One goes good, one goes bad.
That's true. That's true when you do it. But thank you, Haley. You guys make sure you guys follow Haley Hill this year because she's fun to watch out at Flamborough Speedway. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you.
So Haley Hill, yes. We've got one more coming on. And it's Brady Smith out at Delaware. We're going to have him join back up. I know it might be a new deal for him coming on this show. And we're going to bring him on right now. It's hard when you don't have a tech guy doing behind the scenes. I got to do it all on my own, but We got him on the show right now after coming off a victory out at Delaware Speedway. And that was a fun one because Victory Lane was everything. In that interview, you could tell how much it meant. Brady Smith, I know this is our first time actually meeting virtually, but congratulations. How does it feel to get back to Victory Lane?
Can you guys hear me okay?
We got you loud and clear.
Nice. Yeah, it's amazing. I guess I didn't honestly didn't really expect it that night. It was such a scramble to get the car ready. We've definitely been more prepared on other nights, and it's been tough lately trying to get the hang of this thing, but it was pretty awesome result for sure.
You and Matt Robley put on an amazing race. That was a lot of fun to watch. I know he was trying and just he couldn't get you. And I don't know what, something was off with the track or what, but you normally we see a Morneau up the front and he wasn't really there at all. You got the opportunity to be out front and extend your lead and really not be contested after Robley kind of had his issues. So for yourself, it's been a while. I believe you said on the broadcast it had been 10. Do we know officially how long it's been since you were in Victory Lane?
Yeah, I went back and did the math on that. I guess I think I won 3 or 4 features 2017, so 8 years. Few years off, kind of figuring out life, not racing the whole time, but happy to be back and able to compete for feature wins again.
Well, and that's exactly it. It is an extremely tough division anytime you go late model racing, especially when you get guys like Jake Sheridan and Kyle Steckley that show up, Ray Morneau every week. That's competitive. What has your program been like the last couple of years? And was it just luck that you guys got this, or did you feel that this was potentially coming?
We've been working hard at it. I didn't really get a chance to, in my Victory Lane speech, to talk about my kind of the opportunity that I'm here, how I got with this. So beside me here is my old car. It's the one we used to race up until a couple, 3 years ago. It's like probably 30 years old now. It's a late model I used to run, and it just got to the point where it was hard to be competitive anymore with it. Came about this car here. My brother-in-law, Chad Corcoran, had the chassis, and we a couple of years ago decided to put it together, and it's actually 10 years old now too, so it's still an older car than most of the cars we race against, but we've been able to get it working pretty good the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I owe a lot to Chad for helping me get the car together as well.
It's funny how we get to hear all these conversations, and you get to hear about how people are connected with who and so on and so forth. I know a couple of years ago, the division, we had a couple of rough nights in the Pro Late division. There was quite a bit of accidents, and it seems to have settled down a little bit, but this Pro Late racing deal is not an easy thing in 2025. What is the biggest hurdle that you guys have to overcome? Is it purely cost?
Cost is a big thing for sure. It's kind of nice that we were able to do what we were able to do. Like, I like to pride myself that we were able to do it on a pretty small budget compared to a lot of the teams you race against. So got to a point before where it was tough to go to the track knowing maybe you didn't really have a chance to have a car that was going to win the feature. So it kind of says something to all the smaller teams out there that maybe don't feel they can come out and compete anymore, because I know the car counts maybe aren't quite what they used to be in the late model class. That just sometimes a lot of hard work can still get lucky once in a while.
I love that you brought that up, because actually our first guest, Dylan Wills, Superstock out at Peterborough, was talking about the car that they had was from 2008. And you just look at it and go, hey, some of these old cars still have life in them. They still have a lot of love put behind them. And like Kevin Trevlin's probably got a 35-year-old piece that he 35-year-old, no, he's been racing for 35 years, but he's probably got a 20-year-old car, at least 25. He'll probably tell me. I think it's from 2003, so maybe 22 years old. And it's still, he finished second the last race he was out at. So it's just a number, really. the effort and the appreciation you have to put into the sport is a lot. And you've been at Delaware Speedway for many years. How have you felt this year has gone as a whole? Obviously, the win is a great story, but as a whole, feeling okay with how things have gone?
It's been a pretty crazy year. We've had, I think, what, 4 races now. We've had 2 good runs and 2 terrible runs, and somehow we're still fifth in points, only 3 points back out of the lead. I looked at this today, which I thought was pretty crazy. That's a tight, tight group for sure. Lots of competitive cars, and it's been good. I've been satisfied with the results, especially the win. Still lots of room for improvement. Like you said, it's a very competitive class. Some of the guys we get to race against are the best in Ontario. So anytime you can go out there and get a win or run in the top 5, it's an accomplishment for sure.
I think, it's a 1984 chassis. Holy crap, Kevin. Okay, so yeah, that thing's been around for a while, but yeah, I mean, you come off of, I think that run that you're talking about was the Ronnie Beauchamp crash, and you almost weren't in it, and it just looked like you just got in it right at the end.
Yeah, it was a tough spot to be in. It was you're kind of full throttle back on the gas at that point, and I saw him get loose on the out, or Robley, I believe, got loose on the outside, and I tried to check up, but at that point I was locking up the brakes, too late to do anything. It was, I mentioned in my interview, I think we've had 2 incidents. That's 2 incidents with getting caught up in someone else's spin out in front of us, and we've went through a couple sets of tires, locking up flat spot and 2 new sets of tires. So actually we were out there Friday on just old practice tires from last year, so that makes it that much more feels good that you don't need to put new tires on all the time, I guess, too.
I find this remarkable because it seems like we had a weekend with a ton of like underdog, I guess you could say, wins, and that is what people seem to forget, is that's extremely important in racing, is to have people that come out and win out of, they weren't expected to. You, I guess, didn't expect to win this race. You started up at the front and you just took off, and I guess the car was just really, looked like it was just really hooked up for you. Not a ton of issues out there. Is it hard to find weekends like you had?
It's been coming for us for a while. We've been we did some work here over the off season, found some stuff with the car. I think we earned it. We've been working to get the speed, and I know we've been getting closer and closer every week. Yeah, I think I don't know. It's tough for sure, but I think we've been working at it hard and getting closer and closer. And I know we've got some things, like I was really happy with the car in the heat race. Honestly, in the feature, we weren't really that good. We were fighting it pretty hard. So towards the end, we started slipping a clutch a little bit. So I think we can even get better from here. So I don't want to keep. I guess I don't want to keep being an underdog story. I want to be able to keep running up there and show that we belong.
Well, the fact that you've got hardly any separation between yourself and first place in points says a lot. No plans to do any outside traveling? You stick mostly to the Delaware track for this year?
Yeah, I think so. It's tough with having a young family now. It's harder to do the travel stuff. Back 2017 was that year we talked about. Last year I raced. I guess I think I was trying to go back and figure out today all the years I've raced, the years I've taken off. So I think 2017 was the last year, maybe no. And then 2018 I did some APC racing and some traveling. Took a couple of years off after that, and I think then COVID happened. 2021, I think we went back to Delaware for a couple of races and took a little bit more time off. So it's just nice to be able to, we're only 10, 15 minutes from the track. So it's nice to be nice and close, easy for the family life. But we've talked about maybe taking the car up to Flamborough or something one night if we have a good race at Delaware, no issues, or we're off for a week, maybe something I'd be interested in. Just all depends on how the cards fall for sure. And obviously don't want to tear anything up here for
no.
still around Delaware. So
I love that idea because, you know, Flamborough, obviously they could definitely use some late models out there. Billy Schwarzenberg definitely needs somebody to give him a challenge, him and Kevin Albers for sure. But you got a lot of great supporters that you have on that on the late model, and the reason why I wanted to have you on the show obviously is I love seeing new feature winners, and it's been a while obviously for you. And anytime that we can get somebody out that hasn't won in a while needs to be recognized, and that is something that is extremely important, and why we want to have this show continue is bringing attention to those that do such great things out on the racetrack and behind the scenes. But obviously behind the scenes of your team, you've got a bunch of great people, some great supporters. This is your moment to share those names and shout them out.
Yeah, honestly, like you said, definitely couldn't do it. Couldn't be competing in the late model class without all the great supporters that we have. Been pretty lucky this year to have some new sponsors come on, and I've had a lot for my whole career, racing 20 years on and off, that have stuck with me. So that's awesome too. Twilight Acre Farms really stepped up this year, wearing their shirt. They do a lot for us, help us get to the track. Ferguson's Fancy Beans. Who else we got? We got Stribe Construction, Andrews Sports, Delaware Farms stepped up a lot last year and helped us out and help us get to the point that we're at now. We got Woodhull Grain, PVX excavating. We got Exeter Ford, Lincoln stepped up this year, new sponsor, really helped us out. We got ABC Sanitation. We got Straight Line Collision. Like I said, I haven't won in a while. I used to have these memorized, but it's been so long. Elgin Realty and Chad Corker and his company, Corker Contracting, as well, helped us out a lot. So appreciate everybody there. Couldn't do it without their support and all my crew chief, Justin Eckel, one of my crew members. We have a pretty small crew, tight knit group. Only 2 or 3 guys come out to the track, and it's all you need really if everybody knows their job, what to do. And we've been doing it for a while now. So I got Justin Eckel, I got Burr, and I got my spotter Dave Pettit, and of course my wife for letting me come out here in the shop. And my dad's done a lot for me over the years too. He's not so involved now, but to get me into racing back in the day, and I couldn't be here without him as well.
Well, Brady, it's been an honor to have you on the show. Hopefully we'll get to have you on again when you win a couple more features this year, maybe a championship. Who knows? It's definitely potentially in the cards, like it is. You're 3 points behind the lead right now, and top 5 is all separated by 3 points. So not bad at all. Congratulations on the big win, and thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Thanks. Appreciate all you do for the sport as well.
Not a problem. That is Brady Smith out of Delaware Speedway. We had a packed show tonight, guys. I don't know if we can sustain having this many guests every week. It's certainly a lot. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know we don't always keep our big audience throughout the night, but those who did stick around, I appreciate you. And we're trying to build this show as much as we can, because it's so important in this day and age that we have to be able to talk about motorsports. We have to talk about it all year round, try and get more and more companies, fans, to help keep racing alive. That's the biggest thing right now. Keep it alive for 2026. G-Force TV has officially hit 20,000 subscribers in 2025. Congratulations, Clinton Jeffrey, Adam Ross, Greg Calnan, Spencer Mullen, Jackson Jeffrey, McLean Calnan, Glenn Stiers, everybody that puts the effort in for weekly racing at Ohsweken Speedway, the Little O Racing, Race Rivals Race Chat, and ONTrack Weekly. 20,000 subscribers is nothing to snark at, nothing to laugh at. A huge deal. Congratulations. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I'm Cam K, been your host for ONTrack Weekly. Thank you to all the guests. We'll catch you all next week here on G-Force TV.